Eternal Health, episode number 15.
You're listening to the Eternal Health Podcast, where we discuss God's great design for your life in body, mind, and spirit. Your host is Laura Rimmer, who's a plant-based nutritionist, author, speaker, and health coach. Looking for yoga tips or the latest protein shake recommendations? Sorry, you're in the wrong place. If you're ready for no-nonsense, multi-layered health expertise, drawing on evidence-based nutrition and biblical principles, welcome to Eternal Health. For show notes and to download your free 5-minute Optimum Health Scorecard, please visit laurarimmer.com. Enjoy the show.
Hi there and welcome back to Eternal Health. We're on episode number 15 and today's podcast is going to be all about the 7 keys to weight loss and great health in 2018. So it's a new year and just want to take this opportunity to wish you a very happy new year. Hope you had a great Christmas. You probably might have noticed, taken a couple of weeks off Eternal Health over the Christmas period. And we're ready to go again for 2018. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to help you with some of your New Year's health resolutions, if you've made any, and I know that many people have. So that's going to be the theme of today's podcast. Now, before I get into the content of this podcast, then just to say, over Christmas, I had a great time. I went and stayed with my parents-in-law up country, Chris and I did, and that was really lovely. It was snowy. I went out running, did my 7-mile run around the hills, the snowy hills, which was really, really nice. So had a nice little bit of time off, not a huge amount of time off work, but just change of scenery, change of environment, and with my in-laws who were very, very hospitable, and had a lovely time with them. So that was good. Now, I am starting today, so as I record this and as this is released, it's the Monday the 8th of January 2018. I'm starting a 5-day health reset challenge, which is going to be going live for 5 days in a private exclusive Facebook group. So if you want to join that challenge, and like I say, it starts today, we're running for 5 days. As I count at the moment, there's over 600 people in our group who are really enthusiastic to go and to hit their health goals this year. So that's what I'm going to be doing over the 5 days, giving you some training, insights, information, downloads. There's a free checklist, a health reset checklist, which has got 9 points for helping you to reach your health goals for the new year. And every day I'm going to be coming to you with a live video training in the Facebook group. So feel free to come and join us. I'd love to have you in the group and love to speak to you and interact with you each day. So if you go to facebook.com and then search Health Reset Challenge, Plant-Based Weight Loss and Vitality, I will also leave a link to this group in the show notes and a link to get your 9-point health reset checklist as well and to join the group. So that's quite exciting. I've been preparing for this for the last couple of months and ready to go today with day 1 of our challenge. And just to finally say on this point, this isn't going to be a kind of let's drink water for 5 days or let's do a detox and just drink juices or anything like that. It's not going to be about getting you to do things around your diet for 5 days. It's going to be more around, I'm thinking long term. Even though the challenge is for 5 days, you're not going to lose loads of weight in 5 days or anything like that. This is more about the mindset, the attitude, the skills, up-leveling your skills, your knowledge, your mindset, which will then give you a shift in perspective, which will ensure longer-term weight loss, vitality, energy levels, health and healing. Okay, so it's not going to be your run-of-the-mill type challenge or, weight loss thing. This is much more deep, much more lasting. Yeah, and do take advantage of my 15 years of research, knowledge and coaching, which I normally charge for, coaching one-on-one. So you can come and get it for free in the group. Okay, so I've called this podcast The 7 Keys to Weight Loss and Great Health in 2018. And that's because over my years of research and coaching and writing books on the subject of great health, I've determined that there are 7 factors that contribute to your great health. And this is my framework for optimum health, healing and weight loss that I've been coaching people in now for almost 10 years, having really good results. And this is a simple framework. And the key to this framework's being effective is the synergy that it creates. Because great health is synergy. It's not just diet, it's not just fitness, it's not good mental health, but it's all different factors, the 7 different factors working in harmony with each other, which creates this synergy. And that means that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. And that's where you can really get traction with your health, with weight loss, with healing, with energy levels when you make optimum use of these 7 factors. So before I go into these 7 factors, because you might think to yourself, well, how do you know that these 7 factors are the be all and end all? Let me just take this opportunity to give you a little bit of my background, because also I'm aware that it's a new year and we're at episode 15 now, and maybe you don't know my background and credentials. So I'll just give you a quick summary so that you know where I'm coming from and why I've kind of come up with these 7 things and the fact that you can trust them. So I graduated in 2001 from Birmingham University with a law degree, and I became a medical research manager in the UK's National Health Service for a number of years. So I used that law degree working alongside doctors and consultants in their medical studies and practice. And my job was to vet the different research proposals coming through from a legal standpoint, an ethical standpoint, and all that kind of stuff. And also I was in charge of writing government health reports. However, what I found was that it really didn't sit well with me, the fact that everything was focused on disease and drugs and surgeries and pills rather than proactive health and finding cures. So when I was offered a promotion, then I very politely said I didn't want to take that promotion and resigned to become a nutritionist and advanced gym instructor. So fast forward a little bit, and in 2008, I set up my nutritional coaching business and health websites, which are alkalinediethealth.com and then later on laurarimmer.com, to help people who are struggling with stress, weight gain, burnout and disease to get really healthy, slim and energized. That was my mission. And over those past 10 years, then I've worked with some of the world's top doctors in the area of optimum health and disease reversal. So these are, not only are they standard medical doctors, been through the whole medical system and done their 7, 8, 9, 10 years of training in some cases, but they've really gone into the field of nutrition and diet as a means and a way to reverse and prevent degenerative disease, as opposed to just being experts in drugs and surgery. So that was really interesting, and that's really where I gained a lot of my knowledge, studying under these doctors, researching their things, going through their programs, seeing the results they were having and learning from them, as well as qualifying as a nutritionist and studying plant-based diet quite heavily. So since 2008, hundreds of thousands of people have accessed my free training and subscribed to my newsletter, and thousands of people have taken my online health and diet courses. And I've coached hundreds of people one-to-one to achieve their diet, health and weight loss goals. Now, in 2014, I signed a book deal with Hay House, which is the world's leading publisher in natural health books. And my book, The Alkaline 5 Diet, was released in 2015 and has since been translated into several different languages. And from then on, I've created this podcast, which came out in 2017, Eternal Health. And I'm now an in-demand speaker, and I run 2 signature health coaching programs called Alkaline Slim and Energized, which I've been coaching for the last 2 years one-on-one with people, which is a 8-week one-to-one program. And my latest program is called High Performance Health. So that's my background. So from all of that study and research and working in various different settings, I've come up with this simple framework, which really is the crux of how to achieve brilliant health, sustained weight loss, more energy, prevention and reversal of degenerative disease. So I'm going to run through these 7 keys to weight loss and great health in 2018 fairly swiftly, and I'm going to give you just a high level overview. If you want more detail on these things, then you can go and grab the framework. So you've got it as a printable PDF that you can refer to. And I've also got a really low cost course on Udemy that I will also link to, and I will give you a promotional code as well to get it really cheaply if you want to dive into these 7 areas in a bit more detail. But I don't have the time to go into all the details, so I'm going to give you the high level overview for these 7 things. And then I would encourage you to go away, find out more, grab a copy of my book, The Alkaline 5 Diet, because all of the 7 things are explained more in detail in there as well. So there's a number of different resources that you can go to really get to grips with this stuff. So key number 1 is sunlight and deep oxygenation. And this is not necessarily, these 7 keys are not necessarily in order of importance, but for sure, the most important is sunlight and deep oxygenation. Because if you think about it, breathing, we can only live without breathing for a matter of minutes at the very most, whereas things like food, water, and various other things that we need in our life, we can usually go for longer periods of time without having, whereas breathing, we can't go for very long without breathing. So obviously breathing is very important. And I'm talking about deep breathing, so deep diaphragmatic breaths into the bottom of your stomach, the bottom of your lungs, not these shallow breaths. And it's our temptation in our modern day and age, where we're a lot of the time hunched over computers, sat in cars, watching TV, sat on sofas and things. We tend to go into default settings of shallow breathing if we're not careful. So I would encourage you to lift your shoulders back, have good posture, sit with good posture, your back up, straight, and breathe low into your abdomen, into the diaphragm, because that's going to really oxygenate your body. And this is a real key to great health, having high quantities of good oxygen, fresh air in your body, flowing around your body. And also I've tied this to sunlight, the importance of sunlight, because you need vitamin D, which comes from the sun, on a daily basis. So I would encourage you to get the sunlight and deep oxygenation all in one go. Go out for a walk first thing in the morning if possible. Go out, breathe deeply, get the oxygen flowing around your body, and get that sunlight on your face, on your skin, and capitalize on those 2 things. Now, if you do this every day for 20 minutes or so, then this is going to really upgrade your health if you're not doing this already. Sounds simple, sounds like it's not going to make much difference, but actually, I found with some of my clients, so I worked with a client with psoriasis last year, and over the 8 weeks we were coaching together, this one thing alone, when she started implementing this, really helped ease her psoriasis. So that's key number 1, sunlight and deep oxygenation. Get out for a daily walk for at least 20 minutes. The other thing just to say about this is that your lymph system in your body doesn't have a pump. Unlike your blood system, which has a pump, which is your heart, your lymph needs external stimulus. So one of the best ways to stimulate your lymph system and your immune system is to do deep breathing and get your body moving. Okay, so number 2 in the 7 keys to weight loss and great health is pure hydration. So this is all about getting enough water and the right quantity and quality of water. So women should be aiming for around about 2 litres a day, men about 2.5 litres. If you do any strenuous exercise over and above what you normally do, like any exercise at the gym or running or cycling or swimming or anything like that, then you want to be adding extra in. So maybe another 1/2 litre or 1 litre in your day. And we want to be making sure that water we drink is good quality water. And what do I mean by good quality water? Well, number 1 has to be filtered. And the better the filtration system, then the better off you're going to be. So I personally recommend a water ionizer, which adds alkaline minerals into the water, removes a lot of the toxins, so things like volatile organic compounds, heavy metals, fluoride, chlorine, all those toxins. That's really going to help energize your body, purify your body, because if you don't filter your water, then your body acts as a filter, and your body will really struggle to filter out things like volatile organic compounds, heavy metals, mercury, fluoride, which are toxins to your body. So that's why it's important that you filter the water before you drink it. And we want to be aiming for at least 2 litres a day to keep well hydrated, keep your brain hydrated, your body hydrated, your cells plumped up and in good working order. Okay, number 3 is sleep and balancing rest. So we want to be aiming for around about, and this is a ballpark figure, around about 7 hours of sleep per night. Now this will change depending on your individual preferences and the amount of strenuous energy you use and exercise you do and what kind of job you have and how busy and hectic your lifestyle is, all that kind of stuff. But I would say on the lesser end of the scale, probably no less than 6 hours of sleep a night, and all the way up to about 9 or 10 hours of sleep, maybe slightly more if you really need it. But if you're having 7 hours of sleep per night, 7.5 hours of sleep per night, you're doing pretty well, and that's good. Now, in order to maximize your body's melatonin production, and melatonin is your sleep hormone, then you want to be going to bed before midnight, because the more hours you go to bed before midnight, the more melatonin production is stimulated. And the hours after midnight, the production of melatonin is reduced quite significantly. So you want to optimize that sleep hormone, which is going to help you have more deep and restful sleep. It also helps with de-stressing, weight loss, and various other positive benefits. So yeah, if you can get to bed before midnight, so maybe 10, 11 o'clock, then that would be great. And then that often means if you're going to bed at 10 or 11, you're waking up about 7 o'clock in the morning, 7 or 8, which is great because then you're up early. You can go out for your walk before work or before the day starts. And I know people are different and you might be a night owl, but if possible, if you can change your settings of your day to become more of an early bird, then studies show time and time again that people are just more productive and more fresh and more alert and more energized when they're a morning person as opposed to an evening person. And this is a habit that can be changed, because I used to be a night owl. I used to be up to about 2 or 3 in the morning most nights when I was first running my business, and it just led to unhealthy habits. And to be honest, I burnt out in 2010, and I really had to make some changes and readdress my lifestyle. And now I'm a morning person. I typically get up between 6 and 8 a.m, but usually around 7 o'clock, full of energy, ready to go. Now, number 4 is living alkaline foods. And I've done a whole topic on alkaline foods and the alkaline diet in episode 6 of Eternal Health. So you can go back and listen to that for more detail on this key. So here I'll just say that we need to be eating lots of fresh fruits, vegetables, leafy greens, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and cutting down on more acidifying foods like meat, dairy, and processed foods. And then that brings us on to key number 5, which is eliminating acidic toxins. So acidifying foods, meat, dairy, processed foods, but also things around your home. So look in your bathroom cabinets, your kitchen cabinets. Have you got toxifying things? So a few examples: deodorants with aluminium in, toxifying, anything with phthalates in, sodium lauryl sulfate, air fresheners, which are generally a chemical cocktail of toxins, things like that. So be looking around your home and your environment as well as the things that you can be getting rid of, switching up, swapping for things which are less acidifying and toxic. Number 6 is movement and posture. So this is kind of an obvious one, but we need to be getting our body moving and having good posture. So exercise on top of your daily walk. If you want to be doing some kind of more strenuous exercise, maybe cardiovascular exercise like running, cycling, swimming, dancing, Pilates, and also holding good posture. So when you're sat at a desk, when you're walking, just be mindful of, again, holding your shoulders back, head up high, back aligned, not in a weird squiffy position, just being mindful of your posture, having your desk set up in an ergonomically good fashion if you're at work and sat behind a desk all day, and getting your body moving on a day-to-day basis. And then finally, key number 7 is positive mindset and emotions. And this is really all about your mental health, your spiritual health, your emotional health. So a few simple things you can do is focusing on things you're grateful for rather than focusing on things which have gone wrong or you're annoyed about or unhappy about. Try and I do this. I have a gratitude journal. So I write down every day the things that I'm grateful for, because it's easy to think about the things that are bad, isn't it? And that you'd like to change, but it's not so easy. But it's a really good practice to think and focus on the things that are going well. So, wow, I've got a lean, healthy body. If you can say that, then write that down. If that's not true for you, what else is true for you? I've got 2 eyes that work really well. I've got 2 ears that can hear. I've got 2 hands that are in good working order. I've got a car that gets me from A to B. I live in a home that's dry and clean and warm. I'm not out on the streets like some people. I just look around our city and it really breaks my heart to see so many homeless people who are cold and destitute and hungry. So if you're warm, sheltered, fed and clothed, then you've got a lot to be grateful for. So it really helps us to uplift our mindset, elevate our emotional health and mental health if we can think on things that we're grateful for. And then spiritual health, so having a sense of the longer term in terms of, well, for me as a Christian, I've got a sense of eternal salvation. I'm not too bothered about what happens in this life because I know in the future when Jesus returns, then I'm 100% saved. He's plucked me from the fire of darkness. He's brought me into the light. And no matter what happens on my deathbed, I'm not going to be going, is there a God? What happens after this? Do I get reincarnated or not? There's going to be no wondering in my mind. I shall enter death in a peaceful and secure way. So if you don't currently have that, maybe go back and listen to last week's episode on the gospel and what it is. So yeah, it's important to have that peace, that joy, that fulfillment in your work. And if you're not currently experiencing peace, joy, fulfillment, then maybe, again, it's the beginning of a new year to think about how can you upgrade your emotional and spiritual health. And again, I would refer you to my 5-day health reset challenge because there's a lot of mindset stuff in there that will just give you the opportunity to take stock, reflect, and think about what you want to be achieving this year in your overall life and health. So let's do a recap on those 7 keys. Number 1 is sunlight and deep oxygenation. Number 2 is pure hydration. Number 3 is sleep and balancing rest. Number 4 is living alkaline foods. Number 5 is eliminating acidic toxins. Number 6 is movement and posture. And finally, number 7 is positive mindset and emotions. I will leave this 7-point framework in the show notes. So if you go to laurarimmer.com/EH015, then you'll be able to get the framework. And also would like to point you to my Udemy course, which goes into these 7 points in a lot more detail and gives you some really practical, solid tips for having this synergy that is created from applying these 7 points. And I'm going to give you a huge discount on this course, so you can get the whole course for just $10.99 from Udemy when you go to the show notes and use the link with the coupon code that I've given you. You can go straight to the Udemy course if you type in 7 keys to extraordinary health with the Alkaline diet in Udemy and use the coupon code Eternal Health. I'm going to end with a couple of Bible quotes which are relevant for the new year and new beginnings. So the first is from Lamentations 3:22-26. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore I will hope in him. The Lord is good to those who wait for him, to the soul who seeks him. It is good that one should wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. And secondly, from 2 Corinthians 5:17, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come. Thank you very much for listening to this week's episode of Eternal Health. Do go and join our 5-day health reset challenge. I'd love to interact with you in there. And I will speak to you again next week on another episode of Eternal Health. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to the Eternal Health Podcast. Go to laurarimmer.com to download your free Optimum Health Scorecard and find out your current health score, plus tips, coaching, and training on how to get slim, healed, and energized. Remember to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, and we'll catch you next time on Eternal Health.